Hello there, you're welcome to the newspaper review here on TAF TV, and I hope you're taking care of yourself regardless of whatever we are facing in Nigeria. Alright, like you know, here in the newspaper review, we hit to the streets and we give Nigerians the opportunity to air out their views. This is the only station that gives Nigerians the opportunity to actually say their minds in regards to the things that are happening and the headlines that are making rounds on our newspaper. Alright, for today, let's just hit straight to the newspaper headline and see what the newspaper headline has for us. First on the list, we are having the New Telegram, and on the front page of the New Telegram, we have a very catchy headline today. Now it reads, Reps 6 rotational 6 years, single term for president, governors 2 VPs. Wow, this is quite an impressive one. That's to say, our president and our governors will be having 6 years in office. You can read that up on page 3. I bet you this is an interesting story that you really need to read up. Alright, now moving on, we are seeing foreign airlines return to full capacity, offer cheaper fares and more seats. Details of that is found on page 2. I have no anointed candidate, says Mankini. Details of that, Mankini of Oyo. Details of that is found on page 28. At least 2.8 billion fraud. EFCC open case against Saraki, daughter and others. Details of that is found on page 2. Insecurity, terrorists, kidnapping, killed 2 soldiers shot in Niger. Details of that is found on page 4 and page 5. Alright, now moving on, we are seeing aircraft carrying Malawi vice president goes missing. Wow, this is quite an interesting one. I hope it is not the case of Iran. Details of that is found on page 5 of the New Telegram. Tinubu removes Arise, appoints Arugonu as new PSC chair. Details of that is found on page 3. Customs intercept 1,285 liters of fuel worth 900.5 million in Northwest. Details of that is found on page 8. Alright, now moving on, we're seeing minimum wage. Labour awaits Tinubu's executive bill. You can read that up on page 2 and page 5 of the New Telegram. 27 Rivers lawmakers steal PDP members. Court rules. Details of that is found on page 4. Alright, now moving on, we're considering the nation. And on the front page of the nation, we have Rivers government. 27 lawmakers remain PDP members. Court rules. Details of that is found on the front page of the nation. Nigeria, conducive for business. Odin tells multinationals. Details of that is found on page 4. At least 423 billion fraud. EFCC raises term to probe Erufai and others. Details of that is found on page 5. Tinubu yet to give minimum wage tripartite committee report. Details of that is found on page 5. Alright, now moving on page 27, we are seeing Enosax 8. You can read that up on page 27 of the nation. Why we postpone Enugu South return by INEC. Details of that is still found on page 27. Now moving on, we are considering the Punch. And on the front page of the Punch, we have smuggled Nigerian petrol floods. West African market sells 1,700 per litre. Details of that is found on page 2. Minimum wage. Labour insists on 250,000. Await Tinubu's verdict. You can read that up on page 28 of the Punch newspaper. Federal government service debt with 2.2 billion in 5 months, says the CBN. Details of that is found on page 19. Southwest Governors Forum insists on state police. Details of that is found on page 7. Alright, now moving on page 4, we have police fail American suicide attempt on 3rd Milan Bridge. You can read that up on page 4. Alright, now lastly on the Punch, we have Rivers AG fault judgment declaring pro-Wike lawmakers PDP members. Details of that is found on page 7. And that is all we have for you in regards to the headlines that are making rounds Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning.
It's good to have you here. Now, I'd like your thoughts on the new telegram that says reps 6 rotational 6 years single term for presidency and governors. Okay, now this is an extension of their current 4 years. What's your take on this?
Yes, candidly speaking, I think it won't be a bad idea they extend it to 6 years because 4 years is not adequate enough to even show responsible leadership. So I think 6 years is not a bad idea. 6 years will give you ample time to drop a plan and then attempt to implement those plans. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
You feel 6 years is enough to actually carry out the plan?
Yes, if you have a draft, maybe your first year in office, you have a draft, you have a plan, you set up a plan, and then the next 5 years you go towards implementing or trying to bring those plans into fruition. So it makes a lot of sense that way. But 4 years is a little bit too small. But 6 years will make it gives an ample opportunity to be able to execute your plans. I think 6 years is okay. If you have
I also like your thoughts now. Let's take it from let's analyze it from the past 1 year that have just passed. Did you think this government actually had a full plan for this present administration?
Okay, the government of Tinubu, our present president, Tinubu, my candid opinion about Tinubu is that he did a lot well. He drew up a plan in Lagos State because I remember very well, if you look at the history, Funshaw Williams was also supposed to be governor of Lagos State, but the Agberos in Lagos killed Funshaw Williams, who was an engineer, and made sure they installed Tinubu to become governor of Lagos State. And during his period in office, a lot of changes were made in Lagos State, and then of course Fashola continued on those changes. Fashola worked very hard. Fashola, being a lawyer, was able to carry out those changes and execute a lot of plans in Lagos State, which is very crucial to the development of Lagos. And so Tinubu, being the president of Nigeria, I don't know how much he has to offer, but I think if he's surrounded with good advisors, people around him, good counselors and advisors, I think he will do a very good job. But for now, his first year in office, we've not seen anything productive because the increment of the removal of fuel subsidy, and although there's the good side to the removal of fuel subsidy, because
we're yet to see the good side.
Yeah, people would say that the hike in fuel prices have actually affected everybody, but my own take on this is that the hike in fuel has actually even reduced accidents on the highways. Yes, it has reduced a lot of accidents on the highway because it had a lot of, during the time fuel was less expensive, had a lot of irresponsible drivers on the highways. But because of the hike, people don't drive irresponsibly any longer. People are more careful about that because they know that it's expensive to buy fuel and all of that, so you don't spend money anyhow. You have to drive responsibly and all of that. So I think it has had its own take on the society at large and and the people. Yeah, that's my own opinion.
Lastly, as a patriotic Nigerian, do you think for the next 3 years of this administration that there will be a better change?
I don't know. I cannot say, but I think the Yorubas. If you want to look at the history of Nigeria, the Yorubas have shown a lot of competence when it comes to politics. Look at the history of Nigeria from the time of Awolowo, the legal luminary, the time of the history. Look at the history. The Yorubas have shown a lot of competence when it comes to politics, handling political issues. With the introduction of Tinubu as the governor as the president of Nigeria, there are lots of projects that are going on. In Lagos, a lot of projects are going on. There's the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway project, which is a welcome development, and so much more. Like I said, the problem of our society, if we're focused on the development of infrastructure, and development of, apart from infrastructure, development of the people, providing free or near free education for our people, and then we've sorted a lot of problems out. Because one of the major problems of our society is access to free or near free education for the people. Yes, the more enlightened persons we have in society, the better for us. 30% of the population of Nigeria is enlightened, is exposed, is educated. But so how do we convert the next 70% to be, educated, to have the same equal and affordable education that the 30% have? So that's a major issue. That's where the problem lies. Education, investment in education. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
All right, God bless you.
Down here, they are saying in Cameroon, it's been sold at 2,000 naira. In Libya, it's been sold at 1,428 naira. So other places that are enjoying this fuel that we are suffering in Nigeria. What's your take on that?
You see, one thing I would say is these people smuggling this petrol. I strongly believe that there are some government officials that are sponsoring this movement. It's just that maybe there's a controversy between one or two, and it happens that they find out that this fuel is being smuggled, this petrol is being smuggled, and they have to bring it to the public. You will not tell me that this smuggling of petroleum is not. It started today. It's not new. It is something that have started a long time ago.
And it has benefited a lot of persons.
It has benefited a lot of people. You understand? Even before now, when this fuel subsidy was on this petrol, the fuel subsidy was for Nigerians to enjoy, but these people buying this petrol from the refineries smuggle it to other countries, and they were the one enjoying that subsidy. You understand the benefit that comes with this petroleum. So what do you expect from something that you're not getting it on a positive ground? You understand? Definitely it will come with a cost. Everything that does not come positively come with a cost. You have to pay a price, and that is why they are buying it maybe that expensive. You understand? And we as Nigerians, we are smuggling fuel outside this place, and we are still looking for this fuel. We can see that for the past few months, filling station you will not see fuel. Most of the filling stations have been on lock. You understand? And we are still smuggling this fuel to take it to other.
The same fuel that we are complaining about.
Yes. You understand? So what you don't get on a positive ground, because I believe there is a platform for Nigerians supplying these people fuel, which is legal. You understand? So why don't they follow that process? Why do they have to smuggle this?
At this point, you're saying there are upper hands to this smuggling.
Exactly.
So at the point where it is getting to a headline, it is no longer news, right?
No longer news at all. It's not a surprise. Okay. It is something that we all know. Even the youth know about it. The one you think they don't listen to news. They know about these things. Okay. There's nothing new about smuggling of this petroleum. Yes.
Okay. Quickly, let's just divert a little bit. There is this particular one that says Rep 6 rotational 6 years single term for president and government. Now they are seeking for a single term. Do you think this governance is based on time span or based on proper planning?
The time span is not the problem. Proper planning is the problem. We will see other countries. We will see other countries that they have longer tenure and they do a lot of work. It is not the tenure that is the problem, and we can see other countries that have longer tenure but they still have nothing to show for it. You understand? So the tenure, the longevity is not the problem. It is the planning. Nigerians, most of our leaders lack planning. Some of us they bring their what do they call the manifestos, say a lot of things, but those things they say they are just saying it for saying sake. They are just saying it because they need our votes. Most of them going there, they don't even have plans. They don't have plan of what they want to do. They just go there, and tomorrow here they are traveling for vacation in another country. Why don't you just stay? Why don't you stay and do what the people have voted you? You understand? You are traveling for a vacation. You have not spent 1 year in office and you're traveling for vacation. What are you going to go and rest for? So you have been busy doing your personal business all this while. Now that you have become president to serve the people, you want to go and rest.
You have been called to serve.
You understand? Now you have been called to serve and you want to go and rest. I mean, it's uncalled for.
Basically, you're saying it's not based on the time span.
It's not based on the time span. It's the planning that is the problem. Nigerian leaders lack planning. You understand? They lack planning, and they allow these so-called godfathers to manipulate them. And that is why when you see someone that is being elected there and is not dancing to the tune of these godfathers, we tend to have problem with the country. A lot of problem coming up.
Okay, you're actually relating it to what is happening in River State.
Exactly. You understand? Like you see Fubara and Wike, I don't want to go far, but that is exactly what is happening. Fubara is not dancing to the tune of Wike. Wike wants to play the role of a godfather, and Fubara is not dancing to the tune, and that is what is bringing the problem. Wike is not finding it very funny. It's not going to what he planned. You understand? And he don't like the fact that Fubara is ruling on his own will. You understand? He wants to be ruling on the ground. Why Fubara is just a clone there doing what Wike wants. You understand? And that is what Nigeria is been facing all this while as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, we have come to the end of our newspaper review here on TAF TV. You've been opportune to hear what Nigerians got to say in regards to the headlines that are making rounds on our newspaper. You also can be part of this show. Do well to follow us up on all our social media handles. And if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe so that you get notified each time we bring you headlines that are showing the reactions of Nigerians. My name is Eya Okeme, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAF TV. Do well to take care of yourself.